Hello.
Cracking the keys.
We're live. We're going to do a
We
Pilates
live.
class. So if you have a mat, join us. We'll start in 2 minutes, maybe 3.
Sounds good.
Yay.
What are we gonna do?
We are going to do mostly mostly beginner. We're going to sprinkle some intermediate exercises in, specifically focusing on the back of the body, the hamstrings, the glutes, just like we were just talking about.
That's what I like.
Maybe we'll do some fetal 5 on our side today
Ooh.
instead of regular side kicks,
I like.
and generally some beginner.
Cool.
Cool. Yay.
I like it.
Do you know who this is? I don't know who this is. Brooklyn. Lisa.
Don't know.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Brooklyn, Lisa.
We're happy you're here.
It's May.
It's May!
And it was finally nice out today.
It was finally nice after our 2 days of random winter returns.
Mm-hmm.
We had a nice day today. That's it. I'll give a shout out here to FPC.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that much in the world of online classes. FPC is a studio in Soho stands for Fit Pregnancy Club. Sometimes Joni tunes in and says hi. She's the owner. She's amazing. And we teach 100% safe, performance-driven strength training and cardio classes to all prenatal clients. I'm there on Tuesday mornings and Wednesday evenings at 5:15. If you're in New York local and you're prenatal or postnatal, come check out a class. We have postnatal classes as well. And honestly, I took postnatal class today just to start to get better with the format of that class because I'm subbing it in a couple weeks, and I was dripping. I mean, it doesn't work out for anyone. It's
I've
not
taken it before, and I was
just
definitely.
for pregnant people. It's for anyone.
I got a good workout.
Yeah, it's a good workout. So, check us out. All right, let's get started. So, ideally you have a mat in your home, and you'll lay down on the mat. We'll start with a little bit of warm-up. So, feet flat on the mat, knees are bent to start here. And you can bring your hands onto your rib cage. Let's do some solid rib cage breathing here. So, bring your fingertips to touch each other right in the middle of your rib cage. And then start to breathe so that on your inhale, your hands come away from each other. And on your exhale, they come back towards each other and they come closer than they were before. So maybe that means they overlap if the fingertips were touching. Inhale and expand and let the hands float away from each other in the inhale. Exhale and draw the hands back together. The fingertips touch or overlap. Now keep going like this. This is your rib cage breath. But I want this to occur all the way from your pubic bone to your rib cage. So I want you to think of a zipper across the front of your belly wall that on the exhale zips all the way up. And like Bianca's doing, I want you to be doing the same at home where you breathe in through your nose and exhale, maybe with a little bit of sound or out through your mouth to get into those super deep core muscles. Take 2 more just like this. Exhale, zip up the front of the abdominals. 1 more just like that. Inhale. Exhale and zip up the front of the abdominals. Now leave the front of the abdominals shut and float your arms up to the ceiling. And this stays closed. So you imagine there's a magnet here and you're still breathing because you have to breathe, right? So you breathe into your back. You should feel your ribs behind you expand, but your belly stays gathered. On your next inhale, keep your belly gathered, keep your ribs together, and float your arms back by your ears. On the exhale, see if you can find even deeper connection in the middle of the abdominal wall, hugging towards each other as you float the arms back over your shoulders. So the inhale, the arms float back, the exhale, the arms float and press forward. The whole time the abdominals are engaged, 1 more time like that. Inhale here, exhale, bring the arms forward, and then relax the abdominal wall. So kind of let it go, like you went out to dinner, you ate too much, you came home, you took your pants off, you let it go. So that's where we have to get that release. So even in Pilates, even though we always want that connection when we're working, we hold it long, like through the exercises, we have to let it go because our muscle group has to be able to do both things. We can't just walk around with a contracted abdominal all the time. That would make us dysfunctional. So let's do that 1 more time. 3 breaths there, but first put on your corset or zipper. So inhale, arms stay still, exhale, zip up from the pubic bone to the rib cage. Keep that zipped and gathered and float your arms back on the inhale. Go deeper into this midline connection as you float your arms forward on the exhale. 2 more times, inhale and float forward. 1 more. On the next one, you're gonna float the arms all the way down to the hips and curl your head, neck, and shoulders up just to your Pilates curl, which means the tip of your shoulder blades. So you're right here, you stop where your shoulder blades are anchored into the mat, and then stay here, bring one leg up to tabletop, bring the other leg up to tabletop, and then one leg floats down, your toes tap the mat, and it comes back up and you switch sides. This is called marching. You're in your Pilates curl unless you feel a lot of tension in your neck. You can lower the head, neck, and shoulders down. But remember, this abdominal gathering is where your strength is coming from, not your head, neck, and shoulders. And as you march the knees down, keep the knee bent in a 90 degree. So you hinge away from the hip and you draw the leg back to the hip and you lower it and you lift it. It's all coming from the core. 1 more time on each side. Last one. Come back up with both legs. Lower the head, neck, and shoulders down. Lower your feet down. Take a breath. Ha! There we are. Good. Okay, let's go right into our 100 from there. So that like really fired up the core, I hope. Hug your knees into your chest. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up just to the tips of the shoulder blades. Again, this is your Pilates curl. Hover your arms above your abdominal wall and either keep your legs here or tabletop or send them out to 45. Squeeze the inner thighs together and start to pump your arms up and down 1 inch. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're a beginner or you're modifying for any reason, you lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Otherwise, you stay in this curl the whole time. Perfect. Good. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your legs are in tabletop at home, send your legs to a high 45. Now try it. If it gets to be too much, you bring them back into tabletop. That's totally okay. For the last 3 breaths, Bianca's going to lower her legs a little bit more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice big strong pumps with the arms. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop pumping. Bend your knees. Lower your head. Take a breath. That's your 100. You're warm. Yay. Send your legs long on the mat and scoot your body back so that your whole body's on the mat. Flex your feet. Zip your legs together. And then bring your arms back up to the ceiling the same way we were doing our rib cage breathing, our breathing arms. And tuck your chin to your chest. Imagine you are a piece of licorice peeling off a paper and roll all the way up, leading with your head, articulating through the spine, bone by bone. Reach your hands forward over your toes, but make sure your arms are in line with your spine. So don't let this collapse and be like a full forward fold. I want your abdominals to be engaged. They're making a big C shape with your belly. So your ribs are lifting up away from the thighs. And then take your time melting down to the mat, 1 bone at a time. The pelvis tucks the whole way. The chin stays on the chest until your shoulders get down. It's the last thing to lower. Beautiful. Let's do that again. 4 times, super slow. Rolling up, peeling off the mat. Pressing your heels down into the mat to engage the backside of your legs. And then using your abdominals to draw in and lower you down, 1 bone at a time. So sometimes my heels like to kick up off the mat. I really have to engage the back of my hamstrings. Keep going. 3 more slowly. I have to really engage the back of my hamstrings to keep my feet down and squeeze in the inside of my legs. And then roll back down 1 bone at a time. Your breath should just be long and kind of natural here, moving it with your movement. Make it a flow with your breath. So Bianca's inhaling as she rolls up, exhaling here, inhaling at the top, and then exhaling to roll down bone by bone. Good. Roll down. Okay, let's play with this. Let's take 4 counts to roll up, 4 counts to roll down, and we'll do 4 more of them. We'll do 4 counts, 3 counts, 2 counts, 1 count. Take a nice big deep inhale, exhale and roll up for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Roll down 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Take 3 counts to roll up, 3 and 2 and 1. Down for 3 and 2 and 1. And pause for me. Just make sure you're using your core and that abdominal engagement, not just a bunch of momentum to roll up. So it should be like effort in the abs to lift the head. You have 2 counts to come up, 2 and 1, better Bianca. Roll down 2 and 1. Now take 1 count to roll up and then roll all the way back down on 1 count. Take your hands, place them flat in the mat by your sides. Bend your right knee into your chest. Take your hands, place them behind your right thigh. And you're gonna flex your heel and send your legs straight up to the ceiling and let that right hip bone drop down into the mat. It should feel super heavy and you should feel a stretch in the back of the hamstring. And then give me 3 pumps of the leg here. Bend the knee and straighten the knee, bend and straighten. With every straighten, I just want you to feel the stretch deeper in the back of the leg. Now leave your leg long, point your toes, lower your hands back down onto the mat. Turn your leg out just slightly from the inner thigh, and then make the leg come across your midline towards the left side. Make a half circle, lift it straight back up. Inhale across, down, around, and up. Good, keep going like this. If it helps you to take your hands and place them on your hips to feel your hips stable in the space, that's good, you can do that. I want your leg to move as much as it can without letting your hips rock. Fun fact, that's where Watch That Rock got that name. So you're watching that rock in that hip, you don't want it to rock. And then reverse directions, go straight down in a straight line across the body, around and up. So you're drawing a backwards capital D shape. Inhale down, exhale to come up. 3 more, inhale and exhale. 2 more, inhale and exhale. 1 more, inhale down, exhale across and up. Pause, bend your knee into your chest. Give it a stretch. Now we're gonna do some tree here because we're already in this position. So we're gonna engage the abdominals here as well. Now the goal is to have your legs straight, but that's only the ideal. If you're not able to be there today, you can have a small bend in your knee, that's okay. Send your leg up to the ceiling again. So right leg goes high. And your hand is behind your leg. Your leg is the tree. You are going to climb with your spine up and down the tree. So curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. This is gonna get into your abs really quickly. I want you to climb your hands up as close to your ankles as you can with a light grip. Your abs are working to bring you up. And then walk down, one hand over hand. Most people will not look like Bianca. I cannot come up that high. That was insane. So if you come up like 2 inches, that's fine. Crawl your head, neck, and shoulders up. As long as your abs are working, and as long as you've got that flexibility, go for it, girl. But you don't have to go that far. Good. And then walk down, 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 down. You have 1 more. Inhale to curl the head. Climb up your tree. And then exhale, keep the round spine just like your roll down as you come down. So you roll down to the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. And then you stop, you bend your knee into your chest, give it 1 more stretch. It should feel nice and good. And then send that right leg long. Left leg comes into your chest. We start with our single leg circle here. So right leg is long, the foot on the right side is flexed, and you're imagining that you're hugging the left leg, that it's still there. That's your imagery. And left leg is up to the ceiling, left hip is anchoring that. We did 3 pumps of the leg. So flex that left heel, hands on the back of the leg. We did our pumps first. Did you already do them?
I did them.
Oh, did everyone do their pumps? Do your pumps. 3, 2, 1. After you've done 3 pumps to stretch out the hamstring, leg goes straight up to the ceiling. Point the toe. Turn the leg out just slightly, and then start your single leg circle across the body towards the right, down, and around, up. Now you're drawing a proper capital D shape in the air. It's not backwards anymore. Good. And again, your leg moves as much as it can without moving your hips. So to advance this, you can take this outside of the Pilates box, make a bigger circle, but your hip can't move. So that's how you know your range of motion. Nice. And then after this one, reverse directions. Down, across, around, and up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, use your breath to engage your abdominals to lift. Inhale down, across, and up. 3 more, inhale. And exhale, lift. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, lift. 1 more, inhale as you go around and up. Bend your knee, give it a quick stretch before we do our tree on this side. So again, on this side when you're doing your tree, that right leg is still long and flexed, and you're imagining that the midline is there, that you're hugging the left leg. Send the left leg up to the ceiling. Tuck your chin towards your chest with your hands behind your leg. Climb up the back of the leg as high as you can, close to the ankle. And then around your spine and crawl back down. This gets my abs turned on so quickly. I hope it does yours too. Round up, climb up the back of the leg and use your abdominals. Not a pull on the leg or momentum. Roll back down, 1 hand over hand. You have 1 more time. Inhale to rock up, 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 up. Exhale to roll down. Take your time. Good. Bend the knee and give it a stretch. Awesome. Send that leg straight. And then take your hands behind your thighs and just bring yourself up to a seated position with a little bit of momentum. That's fine. Scoot your butt towards the front of the mat. We're going to do rolling like a ball. So we just rolled up with momentum. We're going to use our abdominals to tuck in order to roll and rolling like a ball. So this is a not momentum exercise. Heels are together, toes are apart, feet are flat on the mat. Wrap your hands around your knees and hold on to your shins. All 10 fingers face each other. Before you lift your feet, round your spine out. Lift your feet up off the mat to hover right behind your sits bones. You tuck your pelvis so much from your abdominals that you tip back to the tip of your shoulder blades. Engage your abdominals to roll back up and hold at the top. Find your balance. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, roll up. When you find your balance at the top, make sure you're not just balancing on the sits bones. You're tucked so you're behind them. Keep rolling for 3 and up. 2, back and up. Nice. Use your breath. Inhale back. Exhale, come up and hold here for 3 and 2. See if you can go deeper into your abdominals. 1, lower your feet down in front of you. Take a breath. Feet flat on the mat, arms long in front of you. Separate your feet just a little bit so they're inner hip distance apart. Roll all the way down. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. We go right into our ab series here. So for ab series, we're going to do 2 exercises, then take a break. So single leg stretch and double leg stretch together, then take a break. We're going to do 5 repetitions of each. So it'll be 10 total switches, then double leg stretch. Okay, I'll talk you through this. Hug your knees into your chest, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Bianca, scoot forward a little bit. That mat is like almost touching them. Hug your knees into your chest, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Take both hands, place them on your right knee, and slide that outside right hand down to the right ankle. Send your left leg long, and switch your legs, switch your arms for 10 and 9, 8 and 7. Inhale for 2, exhale for 2, 5 and 4, 3 and 2, 1. Hug the knees in and hold. Send your legs to a height of 45. Send your arms back behind your ears. Hug your knees in, circle your arms around, grab your knees. Inhale, send everything away from each other. Exhale, come back in. Pause for just a second, Bianca. Make sure when you send your arms behind you, if you can take a peek at the camera, that'd be great. Then you're not you, them. Don't move your head, neck, and shoulders down. Bianca's so good at listening. I'm such a good instructor. I just led her right to look at the camera. Curl up. Okay, so when your arms go back, don't move your head. Watch Bianca. Yes, and then bring your knees in. Your head keeps this position. Everyone has 5. Out and in for 5. Inhale away from each other. Exhale together for 3. Inhale out. Exhale 2. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Take a breath. Yeah, so I think the most common thing, like error I see or misconception on that exercise is that the head is like rocking with the arms. So that's why I wanted to just point that out.
Yep.
Okay, so a single leg stretch, double leg stretch. Let's do scissor and then lower lift immediately right back to back together. If you have any low back issues, you're gonna place your hands behind your low back for lower lift. So for the second exercise, Bianca will take that modification. You can do it at home too, so I'll give you the moment to do that. Hug your knees into your chest, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Send both legs straight up to the ceiling. Take your hands behind your right thigh, calf or ankle. Lower your left leg halfway down, and then pulse your right leg towards your face twice and switch legs. Pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. You have 8 of these. You're using your low abs and your arms a little bit to pulse. So the arms get the stretch, the low abs get the pulse. How many do you have, Bianca? 4, 3, I guess, 2, and 1. Bring your legs together. Put your hands behind your low back if you need. Knees are into the chest. You curl your head, neck, and shoulders right back up. Both legs are straight to the ceiling. You're in Pilates stance. Lower your legs halfway down on an inhale. Exhale, use your abs to lift them both up. Inhale to lower. Don't lift your butt as you lift the toes. 3 more. Inhale down. Exhale to come up. 2 more. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Last one. Inhale down. Exhale all the way up. Bend your knees. Lower your head. Take a breath. We're almost there. Let's do our crisscross. Hands come behind your head for crisscross. So the crisscross idea is not a bicycle. We're not doing our armpit or our elbow to our knee. We're doing our armpit to our knee, and the focus is on rotation in the rib cage. So you're getting that full twist. Hug your knees into the chest. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Right leg long. Twist your torso to your left knee and switch arms and legs or twist in legs at the same time and switch. And switch. Get that full rotation. Think about wringing out a dish towel in your rib cage as you twist. You have 3 more on each side, 2 more on each side. You can lift up above your shoulder blades for this one. This is the one exercise where you get to do that. Come back to the center, lower your head. Take a breath. Take your hands behind your thighs and rock up to a seated position. Scoot your butt back and we set up for spine stretch forward. So legs are mat distance apart, hands are long in front of your shoulders. I want you to be propped right up on your sits bones. So if you need to have a bend in your knee, please do. Press down into an imaginary table. And then lift your spine up an imaginary wall behind you. You're peeling your head, neck, and shoulders off to a Pilates curl to dive forward, but keep the low part of your spine on the imaginary wall. Beautiful. Sit right back up nice and tall. Do that again. Peel the upper back off the wall. Keep your ribs hugged in towards your body. Sit all the way back up. Try to keep your shoulders away from your ears as you reach the upper spine forward. Exhale, come to sit nice and tall. Open your hands about 4 inches on each side. Twist your torso to the right. Dive your hand forward, saw off your right pinky toe with your left pinky finger. Flip your back palm up to the ceiling, gaze at it. Sit up super tall, facing the right, twist to the left. Right pinky saws off the left pinky toe. You flip the back left palm, gaze at it. Switch, come up towards the left, switch to the right. So you're going back and forth between this twist and this dive. It's called saw. And I want you to really go super slow and get every single piece of the mechanics of that. Check in with your hips. Ideally, as you dive forward, the opposite hip does not hike back behind you. It stays where it is, which requires a like side oblique abdominal connection. Good, now come back to center and pause, and we're gonna speed this up and move a little more quickly with breath. Twist and dive and lift and twist and dive and lift. Twist, dive, lift, twist, dive, lift. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Hold. Nice. Zip your legs together. Send your arms out long and roll down to the mat, bone by bone. Cool. Scoot forward just a little bit. And then bring your arms on by your sides. Let's do a little bit of tick-tock here. So bend your knees into your chest and send your legs straight up to the ceiling in Pilates stance. So we're just gonna tick-tock today. We won't do our full corkscrew. The rules here are that your ribs have to stay on the mat, but the hips may move. I want you to take both legs and lower them over to the right side as far as you can go without lifting your left ribs off the mat. Bring them back to center, go to the left, come back to center. You can see why it's called tick-tock. It's like a grandfather clock. Your legs are the pendulum, the hips are the swinging point, the axis of that swing. Good. And your hands and your arms are really engaged in the mat here. So your back body feels like it's hugging the ground underneath you for that control in the rib cage. One more time to each side. This should feel really challenging even though it's a super small movement. To the left. Good. Come back to center. Bend your knees. Take a breath. Lower your feet down. Cool. Let's come into our side kick series. Let's do our fetal 5. So you're gonna roll onto your side. Hips and shoulders are stacked one on top of the other. Your back is at the back edge of the mat, so Bianca, scoop back, good. And then your knees are bent right at your hips, so you have a 90-degree angle there. This is our fetal 5. That's where it gets sustained. You look like you're in fetal position. Your top hand is gonna come onto the mat in front of you. Bottom hand can be propped under your head. And let's go for our fire hydrant here. So you lift the top leg up, and you lower it right back down. Keep the bend in your leg as you lift it up and lower. So something I've been really thinking about a lot here with these side kick series things is that I don't want you to feel this just totally crazy gripping in your hip. It shouldn't feel crunchy here. It should feel like working the booty. So we have to turn that butt on. Maybe that means sometimes I find it easier if I bend my knees even more. If I'm not feeling it, I bend my knees a little bit more. I think about sticking my butt out like a centimeter, and it gets a little more into my butt versus my hip. Good. 2 more. And 1. Lower the leg down, glue your heels together, and open your knee up to the ceiling and close it. So this is a regular clamshell. You lift and lower that top knee. Good. And again here, alignment is super important. So I want to make sure that both hip points are facing forward. As my knee lifts up, I don't open my hip, it stays closed. That's how I get the work in my glute and my hip here, meaning the back of my hip. not the front of my hip crunchy. 2 more. 1 more, and then hold. Now let's do our, I don't even know what to call this except I call it rainbow leg. Are you okay?
Rainbow leg?
Yeah, I call it, I feel like it's like a rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so bend your knees in. You're in your fetal position. You're gonna lift your top heel up to the ceiling. And I call this rainbow leg because it's like you're drawing a rainbow in the air with your knee to bring your heels together. And then you're drawing a rainbow in the air to bring your knees together and back to your heels and back to your knees. The reason I specify this rainbow is I don't want you to just like seesaw your leg back and forth. I want you to lift it up before you put the other side together. That's it. Yeah, 3 more. That's 3. Keep breathing. 2 more. That's 2. You have 1 more. That's 1. Lower your leg down. Take a breath. Now both heels come up to the ceiling. I know your glutes are screaming. That's what we need.
It's called like, it's like an internal external.
It's internal external rotation of your knee.
But
Yeah.
it's like.
But that's such a boring name.
It is. Rainbow leg's better.
Rainbow leg is better. Both feet up to the ceiling, and you open your top leg, your top knee for a big clamshell, and you close it. You're finding this big clamshell, high range of motion, open and close. So it's the same clamshell as we were doing, but before we had our feet on the ground. We bring it up, it ramps the intensity up a little bit on that glute. 4 more, lift and lower. Keep pulling the abdominals in. So you're not just sitting watching Netflix, letting the abdominals hang out. We'll do that later when we watch the Ted Bundy confession tapes, because I can't stop. Last 2. And 1 more. Lower your legs down. I'm just gonna give you a momentary break before we go to our combo here. So take a break, pound your hip out if you need to. I know. Lift both heels up to the ceiling. You're gonna open your knee, come into a high clamshell. Straighten your leg to a high diagonal. Bend your leg, bring your heels together, close your clamshell. Open your clamshell, straighten your leg on a diagonal, bend your knee, clamshell, close your clamshell. Open and lengthen and bend and close. 3 more, open and lengthen. I know this one really burns. And close. 1 more, open. Lengthen, breathe through it, bend and close, go deeper into the core, lower your legs down. So when we get super fatigued during this, I want you to rely on your abdominals a lot. That's where I want all of the work to go. Your face, your jaw, your lips are relaxed. Cool, come on to the other side. So now I always find that this side is actually harder because my supporting leg is already fatigued now. Might the odds be ever in your favor. You're gonna survive, I know it. So hip stack, shoulder stack, long line from your shoulders to your hip. Knees bend to 90 degrees at the waist. Lift the top leg up and lower it down. This is your fire hydrant, lift and lower. Good, just starting here. And here on this side, see if give yourself your little assessment. Is this in my hip or is this in my glute? If it's not in the glute, make any tiny adjustments. And they're tiny, that's what I love about Pilates. 3 more. Is that you can literally say to a client, move 1/2 inch to the right, and it's totally different. It's my favorite thing. 1 more, lift and lower. Heels together, the knee lifts, and it lowers. Yeah, lift and lower. So actually, I liked your hip placement before there. Yeah, that's it. Which is maybe a little challenging. Check in with your hips. Make sure it's not dipping forward towards the mat in front of you. You know how you achieve that? You turn your abdominals on a little bit more. You have 3 and 2 and 1. That's where you find that hip stability. Cool, lower that leg down. Amazing. Now we do our rainbow leg. So your top foot lifts up to the ceiling, your knees are together. Draw a rainbow in the air with the knee, bring your heels together. Draw a rainbow in the air with your knee, bring your knees together, and you go back and forth here. And here, I really want you to focus on stabilizing your pelvis. It's super easy to let that pelvis move around with you, but you have to use your core to keep it super, super still. That's it. You have 3. That's 3. 2. Keep breathing. Go deeper into those abs for support. 1 and 1. Lower your leg. Take a breath. Lift both heels up to the ceiling together and start your high clamshell. So high leg lifts and lowers. Both feet stay up on a diagonal. This is your big clamshell. Bianca, watch that hip. Bring it further back. There you go. Yep, it's so hard. I know. And it's the tiniest adjustment. Good. 3 down, take a breath. We're gonna go in for our combo, so make sure those glutes are relaxed before we begin. Then we'll turn them on and let them work. Bring both heels up to the ceiling. Open your clamshell, lengthen your top leg for a long high diagonal, bend the leg, bring the heels together, close the clamshell. Open, lengthen, bend, and close. Open, lengthen, bend, and close. Keep going just like that. Keep breathing here. Keep your spine in neutral. So sometimes we get like, oh my God, it's killing me. I'm gonna start to tuck my pelvis to help it support it. No, no, no. You wanna stay in neutral. You have a small sway in your back. You have one more after this. Open, lengthen, bend, and close. Lower both legs down. Turn onto your back. We'll take a figure 4 stretch because, oh my God, you deserve it. Ah! Take your right leg, cross it over your left leg. Make sure you're not on the ankle. You want to be beyond the ankle for support to protect your ankle. And then you can either stay here or wrap your hands around your left thigh and hug your left thigh into your chest. If you do that, you can rock towards your left side a little bit if you want a little deeper stretch to get into that right glute a little more. And you breathe. And after we do all that side kick series, it's very important to check in with your pelvic floor because I find that once I get into this work and I'm like, my glute is fatigued, my abs are fatigued, I start to use my pelvic floor, which is like a bunch of muscles in the base of my body that think they can help me. But if they stay there, I'm in trouble, like very big trouble. So I have to let them go. They have to do both. So feel your pelvic floor underneath you, open and relax and release. Take one more breath. And switch legs. It's kind of one of those things that just creeps up on us. So come into your figure 4 stretch on the other side. And one fun tip is that you can check in with your jaw. And this goes for like not just Pilates class, but all day in life. Sometimes if your jaw is clenched and you're stressed, you might be clenching your pelvic floor too. There's like a weird like biomechanic connection between the two of them. So if you can relax your jaw, sometimes that pelvic floor calms down too. It's pretty cool. Take 2 more breaths. One more. Good. Uncross the legs. And then place your feet flat on the mat. Arms long by your sides. Let's do some shoulder bridging here. So heels are close to your butt. Feet are flat on the mat. Hands and palms, wrists, elbows, backs of your triceps are all engaged on the mat. So again, going back to that hugging the mat floor, the feeling of your back of your body. Press your feet into the mat, tuck your pelvis towards your nose, and then peel your hips up. So stay here with your hips high. Find a nice long body here on the top. Keep pressing your feet into the mat. Don't forget your toes. Don't forget your inner arches. This is the reverse of your roll up. Roll down bone by bone. So you're finding just as much articulation in both directions as we did when we rolled up and down. Do the same again. Press your feet down, peel your hips up. Exhale, roll down through the spine, one bone at a time. We're gonna add on the next repetition. So tuck your pelvis, peel your hips up. Bend your right knee into your chest, lift it off the mat. Send your right leg straight up to the ceiling, point your toe. Flex your foot, lower your leg halfway down knee to knee, point your toe, kick your leg up. Flex and lower it halfway down, point and kick it up. Flex to lower, point to lift. 2 more, inhale as you flex and lower, exhale to point and lift. 1 more inhale down, use your abs to point and lift. Bend your knee, place your right foot down and melt your spine down one bone at a time. We'll go to the left side next. Good, breathe. Inhale, on your exhale, tuck your pelvis, peel up. Bend your left knee into the chest, send the left leg up to the ceiling. Same thing, flex and lower it halfway down, point and kick it up. Inhale, flex and lower, point and kick. On this, I want your hips to stay up evenly on both sides, so don't let that left hip hang down. You have 1 more. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift, bend the knee, press the foot down, and roll your spine down 1 bone at a time. So you have to use those glutes and the core to keep both sides lifted and even. We're gonna do another set. We're gonna do left foot first and go immediately to the right foot before we come down. So we're gonna do 5 repetitions on each side. Hands press into the mat, back presses into the mat, feet press into the mat, pelvis tucks and peels up. Left leg bends to the chest. Send the left leg up to the ceiling, flex to lower, point to kick for 5. Let's move a little faster, point kick 4, flex down, point up 3 and 2. Keep those hips high, I know you're already tired. Place the left leg down, lift the right foot up, send it high and lower, and lift for 5, lower. Press into your hands, press into your arms, use the back of your body. Last 2. Final 1, bend the knee, place the foot down, and then take your time rolling down through spine. Beautiful. Place your hand, no, let's go to teaser. So just stay here, bend your knee into your chest and your arms straight up to the ceiling. So knees are in, arms are right over your shoulders. Send your legs to a high 45, like your 100 position. And then peel your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat until you come to hover behind your sits bones with a tucked pelvis, reaching for your toes. You're teasing gravity here. Lift your chest tall and proud, open your shoulders a little bit, Bianca. One more breath. On your exhale, tuck and roll down, one bone at a time. When your shoulders touch, bend your knees in. Take a breath. Yeah, teasers are hard. Okay, you're either gonna do that again, that's your setup for teaser, legs in, legs out, spine up, or you send your legs along on the mat and you'll lift yourself up in one V. One fell swoop. So either option, I'm gonna cue legs out, you'll just come up. So if your knees are into your chest, you send your legs to a high 45 and then you peel up. Otherwise, you lift your feet and your chest, come up into a high V at the same time. On an exhale, inhale, exhale, come up. Good, and hold here, you're teasing gravity, reach for those toes. Lower your hands down by your hips and lift them up, don't move your spine. 2 more times down and up, 1 more time down and up, reach for your toes. And everything lowers at the same time if you came up together, otherwise bend your knees into your chest and then lower your spine down. If you're coming down in one piece, you try to time your heels and your shoulders to touch at the same time, that's the challenge. Let's do that again. This time we'll take 3 arm circles in one direction. So either bend your knees in, send your legs long and roll up, or lift up in one piece. Inhale and exhale, bring your feet and your chest up, reach for those toes. Keep your spine straight and still. Make big circles, as big as you can without moving anything with your arms. 3 in one direction. Reach for your toes, roll all the way down. We're gonna come right back up once you get down. As soon as your shoulders touch, we come right back up into it, and we circle in the other direction for 3. So find that teaser and take 3 opposite direction circles, and 2, and 1. Reach for your toes, and then everything melts away from each other. Try to time it to come together, together, together if you can. Ah, amazing. Take your hands behind your thighs, rock yourself up to a seated position. Scoot your butt forward, let's set up for seal. So you're setting up similar to rolling like a ball, but we're adding a little balance challenge and timing and everything with it. Instead of wrapping your hands around your legs, put your hands together and thread them through your legs and hold on to the outsides of your ankles. Then first round your spine, sit behind your sits bones, and lift your feet up. You're gonna click your feet here together twice. Click, click, heels click. Roll back to the tips of your shoulder blades at the top, click, click. Roll up, hover behind your sits bones, click, click. Rock back when you're on your shoulder blades, click, click. Come up, Bianca, transfer it back quite as far. Use your core to stop you there. Yeah, better. And come up and click, click. 1 more, inhale, click, click. Exhale, click, click. Lower your feet down, take a breath. Come up to kneel on your mat, facing wherever you're facing. I guess your phone. And be on one side of the mat. Okay, so let's be on, I always get this backwards. We're gonna sit left. We're gonna sit right. Okay, and then we're gonna lean. So you're sitting on the left side of your mat. Sorry guys, that was really hard. And then you're gonna come down to your hips on your right hip, and you're either gonna need a Z-shaped sit or your legs kind of crisscross, whatever feels best for your hips. Sitting up nice and tall with your arms in a T position, reach so far to the right that you can't go anymore, so you find your hand on the mat. This is mermaid. The elbow comes down too, and you use the mat to lift your low ribs up and away from the mat to reach up and over with the left arm. Make sure your front ribs are shut. Ha, better, there you go. So did you see that difference? Bianca, show them splaying your ribs. More. That's splaying your ribs. And then if she just melts this together like our rib cage breathing, then she's more in alignment. Her abdominals are closed. Press your right arm into the mat to bring yourself back up to sit tall. Take a counter stretch. Left hand comes onto your calf and you reach up and over to the left with the right arm. Your neck is in line with your spine. So you're not letting it fall or craning it up. It's just long, good. And then come back to center and go for your mermaid again. Reach to the right. Right palm touches the mat, right forearm touches the mat. You press into the mat to lift up and over with the rib cage. Reaching to that side, breathing, melting your ribs together in the front. There you go. And then press into the mat to lift yourself up to tall. Take your counter stretch to the other side. Good, come back to center. Now without touching the mat, can you bring yourself up to kneeling? If you can't, that's okay, but that's a challenge. And then bring yourself over to the left side, right side of the mat for our left side stretch. Crazy, right? Okay, now you sit your hips left. And then you sit up nice and tall. Same crisscross legs that you had before, whatever felt best for your hips and your knees. Reach so far to the left you can't go anymore. Find your left hand on the mat. Find your left forearm on the mat. Lift your left ribs underneath you to reach up and over. Oh, and by the way, your right hip is anchoring down into the mat, so this is a two-way stretch. Yeah, Bianca's hips just moved like 3 inches. I hope yours at home did too. And then exhale, press into the left arm to come back to center. Take your counter stretch. Right arm to shin, left arm up and over to the right side. Good, exhale yourself back to center, arms starting to T. Reach, 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 reach to the left. You can't go anymore, your hand finds the ground, your forearm finds the ground. You lift the lower side body, reach up and over, closing the front ribs, dropping your right hip down into the mat. Good, and then you exhale, press up into your left arm, come back to center, take your final counter stretch to the right, right hand down, left arm up, reaching up and over to the right, making sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Good, come back to center. Come up to kneel without your hands if you can, otherwise use your hands, do whatever's comfortable for you. And come up to stand, either with or without your hands. Again, that's your choice. Stand at the back edge of your mat, heels together, toes apart. We're gonna end with one solid plank for 30 seconds. I'm gonna time it today. Why not, right? 30-second plank. Whew. That's not the right app. Sorry guys, what's an Apple Watch? I don't get it. I should just count.
Can you just ask Alexa to set a timer?
Oh my
Does that
god.
work? Can she do
Yeah,
that?
Alexa. I'll when you're down, I'll start her.
Okay.
Okay, she's gonna, I don't know what that means.
Not sponsored by Alexa.
Not, but we should be. Arms straight up to the ceiling. Shrug your shoulders and plug them down your back. Tuck your chin to your chest. Peel off the imaginary wall. Find your hands on the mat. And walk your hands out to a high plank position in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're in Pilates stance, so heels are still together. Alexa, start a timer for 30 seconds.
30 seconds, starting.
Here we go. Your pelvis is tucked. Your spine is one long straight line. You're sending energy out your heels. You're sending energy out your heads. You're pressing your chest up away from the ground. Your serratus, your middle of your shoulder blades are engaged. Gaze is right at the mat. Holding your belly in and breathing. Keep breathing. I think you're almost there, but I have no idea. Focus on your breath. Focus on your length. You got this. Go deeper into those abs. Press more into your hands. Pike your hips up to the ceiling. Walk your hands back to your feet. Alexa, stop. That's how we do things around here. And then bend your knees just a little bit and roll all the way up, one bone at a time. Bring the arms straight up to the ceiling. Shrug your shoulders up. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. And then press the air down and away from you as you grow half an inch taller. And you're all done for the night. Woo! Yeah! Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was super fun. Arena was here. Hi, Arena and Brooklyn Lisa. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
You're rock stars. She's a rock star. I'm so happy to have Bianca back. There is a very challenged class, meaning like I was challenged to do it and teach it last week on YouTube, but
Well, it's like
it was
really
fun.
hard.
It's hard. It's just hard to talk while you do the 100 mostly. Anyway,
Yeah. I
that
have
see
a hard time
the next
walking and
time.
talking at this
The next time people say Pilates is too easy, I'm gonna be like, try to teach it while you do it, and then you'll know if you're doing it right. Because
Yeah.
you won't be able to teach it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much. Have a great night. We will be off next week, but we will be back the next week on Wednesday. So I think
date
that
is
date is
29th.
like I think it's like the 29th.
May 29th, 8
Yeah.
p.m.
8 p.m. Wednesday, May 29th. Have a great week. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.